Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back, everyone. We are doing a follow-up video today on altcoin XRP. Is the ticker symbol, Ripple is the name. We have done it in the past. We are doing a follow-up video for the one that was requested in yesterday's video. And this is XRP here on the weekly chart, and a few quick things you can, just quickly see. When XRP tops out, and it has its first pullback, usually you have a bounce, and then that bounce is to the resistance, and then you have a sell-off. Okay, made a high, drop, bounce into resistance, sell-off, high, bounce into resistance, possible sell-off. Now, why am I bringing this to your attention? We have not closed the weekly candle. It is still 4 days and 13 hours left for that. So in 4 days and 13 hours, if you cannot take out the high, the risk of us opening the next weekly candle and testing the breakout area is there for the next whole week. So be aware of that, okay? So those of you who are long around $2 and it's at 260, if you're not taking profits, be prepared to get a test back into 220 next week. And if you lose 220, then be prepared to go test this wick near 169 again. Those levels are not going away. I will be repeating them ad nauseum. All right. That is the weekly, and keep in mind, as these dead cat bounces occurred, the volume was lackluster from the original impulse up, okay? Here's your original volume impulse up. Dead cat bounce volume was basically lackluster, and that was the clue that, hey, it's a dead cat bounce. Here is your volume over here. This started the race. This was the volume for the impulse, and then your excuse me, your dead cat bounce right into resistance. Same thing here. Your volume was during the impulse, and right now we're doing the dead cat bounce with no volume. So if a major seller comes here, you'll see that imprint with that red candle next week, more than likely. This week he probably has a limit, and you guys are just filling it. And why I say he probably has a limit, I'm going to show you guys the level, which is $2.61, is where I would be assuming they are selling, and they have a limit order there. If we can close the weekly above 261, or let's say 262, then next week I'll look for us to go to 324. If we can't get above 262 for the weekly close, next week I'm looking for us to go test into 235 and probably 175, which I already gave you that 166, 167 level. All right. I'm going to remove these doodles. We're going to come back to that later. I want you to show you the higher time frame, monthly. Monthly was a beautiful doji, and now we have this bullish engulf, not even bullish engulf, but continuation uptrend. But this bearish engulf is resistance, and you're basically testing into it. You didn't break it, you're testing into it. Look, same thing here. You're testing into it. Same thing here. This was the weakest one. But this example and this example are very similar. The only way this example gets negated is if you can close the weekly candle above $3. All right? If you do close above $3, then basically the rule that we had over here, once you get above 3, wait, in LEA, we didn't even say it on here. Okay. Let's establish those rules right now. I am going to start cleaning up some of this chart. Let's see. Let's remove this. Let's remove this for now. Should we? I'm gonna remove this one for now. Remove this for now. Remove Tori's trend line for now, which it was following, by the way, guys. As joking as this was, look how nicely this trend line helped you stay in the long in that bull flag consolidation. The bull flag broke up. Okay, so all the longs, congratulations. I'm gonna remove this. What else can I remove? Why is this 330 here? Oh, I guess that's it right there. Excuse me. So that's it right there. We have an SFP short potential. Okay, let me remove this like too. Okay, I might have to remove this channel. I'll leave it low. I'm gonna make this thing white. We all know it's a bull flag. Okay, we know that's where it got bought up. We don't need that. This is where I'm expecting the next buy opportunity to come. Just rotate that to the right over here. Okay. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to establish a new rule. Okay? Right here. And this is weekly time frame. Okay. This should be a weekly close above 350. I apologize. That 333, let's just say 345. We'll start the 101 breakout move, okay? That's what this dashed line is here for. That's what this green horizontal is here for. Once we get above this level, XRP will start the 1-to-1 move, and we're looking for it to go all the way to 650 before resistance, before we hit our 1-to-1 extension. Ay, ay, ay. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Move with TP target. Hello. TP1. 529. TP2. 659. And then TP3, you should just, man, let me see. We don't have TP3. Here, do this. 580. So let's do TP3 and TP2. TP1, TP2, TP3. But we can just leave this here because this is going to take a while to happen until we go get that parabolic move upside this level. Once you hit this level and you actually start opening and closing above it, more than likely you're going to get a parabolic rise. And that parabolic rise is going to basically be at least to like maybe 435. But you'll probably make a flag like this above it. Right, let me just clone this. Something like this can occur. And you know what? I'm going to delete that. Something like this. Zinc, zinc. That's the bull flag. And then the parabolic rise. Like this. Something around that nature. And I'll just leave all this here for later because once we hit this level, I'm expecting a major slap back down. So all the people will probably get like really bullish and like hyped. But when we get to 650, it's going to be a major rejection, probably back down to like 435. So I'm just pre-planning all this to be aware of the same situation we're looking for here. We're going to look for over here when this opportunity comes. And this ugly doodle, I will make it into something like this. Something of that nature. this, we can move that to the right, because even when this happens, it's going to be, those are the two consolidational paths I'm looking at. And then once I have a formation like this, because see this, people are looking at this as potential breakout, right? But if this head and shoulder plays out, which XRP loves doing this, if this head and shoulder plays out, right, the measured move to this is to like around here, 115. So you can do this, make an inverse head and shoulder, and then do the breakout. Okay, that's why we were looking for this long at 185 to be tested, which we did get that test into 166, and that wick was immediately bought up. So that's the healthy, good stuff for that. And then around that time is when ProShares ETF announced that it's going to take the XRP ETF. And that's a good, basically, if they're going to make an ETF, they're going to need to hold a supply, right? So ProShares themselves will buy into the XRP supply so they can provide the ETF for their customers. So stuff like that is something to look at. And then you can see this is bearish divergence on volume as we're coming into that bearish level of 261. So once again, I iterated. Weekly close above 325. We'll start the breakout, the 1-to-1 move, okay? Weekly close under 261 risks a retest of 220 to 166 area again. Weekly close under 261, risk a retest of 220 to 166 area again. With low of 115 support in mind. And that's how I would look at this moving forward, guys. So you basically have everything you need for the conditions for the weekly, and the weekly is going to be the one that is going to give you your juice for higher or not. If the weekly closes above 261, great, but you see you took the liquidity right above 261, right? So all the shorts that had their stop losses right here, all are now out. And then if you roll over now, since the liquidity is collected, now if you roll to the downside, you can understand the irony. That's on the weekly, right? Here's the daily. Okay, the daily also. Here's your biggest rejection point. Here's your secondary rejection point. You're basically taking the liquidity of these secondary lows. Is this a higher high? No, it's a sequence of lower highs here. Hence why we had that trend line saying like, hey, in this little bear flag, you can understand that the possibility of us rolling over is there. Let me just go like that. So we're in the risk right now, okay? As well as you have the midline of the channel as your resistance. So we already knew that this was a possible area of resistance, as well as the third confluence, which is the fib. So you have fib, you have a head and shoulder, you have a descending triangle, three higher lows, you have bearish divergence on volume, you have, yeah, basically all of those things giving you a reason that, hey, the possibility of us to go test back into this cross, this EMA cross around 220, 230 is highly there. As well as you can see this nice parabolic rise you had. You're basically coming close to a potential death cross. The death cross got avoided here, got avoided here. If we reject from here, and you lose this price action under 215, once you're under 215 on daily open and closes, the risk of you gunning down to that 134 level is extremely high, due to the fact that there's a lot of money sitting with stop losses right in this area around 160, 170, which we already gave you as the level of support here. See, 160, 170. So that area begs to be tested. And if you lose that area, then you know you're going to flush lower into that dollar and so. So that's why we've established these rules moving forward for XRP. I hope that helps you guys. And yeah, aside from that, if you guys have any questions or concerns, make sure you hit me up in the comment section below. If you are interested in trading with me live, feel free to join the Discord server. The link to the server is in the description of the video below, alongside all the other affiliate services that I use and recommend that helps this channel grow, guys. So thank you guys so much. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell button for notifications. And Dixie is looking weak, so I'm not looking for upside continuation on Bitcoin and ETH if this thing does not show love and strength for upside. If this thing turns lower, we should expect everything to roll over. We've already established a one-to-one relationship. Why would we reverse that? 6.86. Ouch. That's not good. That's not good. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a great day. I don't want to bother you so much more. That looks weak. This looks like a potential inverse head and shoulder setup, meaning this thing has to make its right shoulder, and it could be shallow. It doesn't need to go lower than 98,000, but around 98,000 makes sense for you to go test into over the next 2 to 3 weeks before you look for upside. Okay? Uh, just saying. ETH, very healthy short squeeze into resistance, and you're showing low on a volume now as well. Volume is starting to tick down, kind of like this situation right here. Okay, so just be aware of that. And what else can I show you guys? Oh, so the stock I bought yesterday, I bought KHC. Yes, I bought Mr. Heinz, and I bought this yesterday at around 259 because this is ketchup. This is ketchup, and this stock, ticker symbol KHC. This is Heinz ketchup. The reason I bought it is because, I mean, I love hot dogs. I like baseball. I mean, I don't know what's going on in the world that people don't like ketchup. Maybe it's a sugar or some health concerns, or maybe this is due to tariffs or whatnot. But I don't see ketchup going anywhere anytime soon. Here's the weekly. This thing went from Heinz when it came out in 2015, so this is 10 years old now, and we're only seeing downside. So I took a gamble on this. This company has 5% dividends. Okay, gives you 5% dividends, almost 6%. And the ex-dividend day is May 30th. So as long as you hold it by May 30th close, you get paid 40 cents on June 27th per share. So we are about 15, 16 days early, but I'm gonna hold this level, and I did it for a reason because this is as low as it can go. And if you take out the low around $20, then I probably won't be in this stock that much longer. But keep in mind, you do get dividends. And another thing I would show you, where's the earnings real quick? Company's price target on this is like around $29, $30. Okay, so people are looking for $29, $30. Um, was this it? When I was looking at the financials, they were doing around 6.6 billion, and we did like 6 billion last quarter. I'm looking for around 6 billion again. I don't want to see lower than 6 billion, otherwise then I will understand why, because the company has been consistently uh, lower and lower revenue when I was looking at it. Where is it? For the last like 5 years. Yeah, let's go to annual. See, 26.4, 26.6, 26.85. No, 25. So the revenue was going down and the profitability was going down alongside it. This is not the right data. I saw it on FinViz. So I don't know why this is doing it like that. But here, this is my favorite site to dig deeper into stocks. I don't know if you guys use this or not, but I mean, it's free. KHC. This is where I was looking at the financials of this company. Let's see. Where's the earnings? Okay. And I was noticing that their money was going down. Is this where it was? Basically, they had less sales. Okay, people were buying less ketchup, and their profitability was lower because of it, due to taxes and tariffs. Man, where is all that data I was looking at? Well, anyway, I don't want to waste any more of your guys' time if you don't care about stocks, but obviously this is a great site, Finviz. I highly recommend you guys take a look at it if you're looking for stuff. There you are, you piece of shit. So the dividends were also flat. No, 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 no. Come on, man. Why am I looking like a fool now? Earnings. Let me double check. Where was I looking at the data? Oh, I also traded donut. I bought Krispy Kreme donuts when it was under $3. It was like 2,670, 280, and I sold it around 325. I was like, of course people are gonna buy donuts. I think it was in here. Earnings. Ah, there you go. So as you can see, they did 3.53, 2.85, 2.88, 2.93, 278, 298, 306. This is annual, quarterly. And they were looking at lower and lower numbers, but every time that the numbers were a little bit higher, it actually helped the stock out. Man, I don't see where that data was that I was looking at, but it was basically showing me all the revenue numbers as well as the earnings, and I was seeing how the revenue was basically slowing down globally, but the profitability was dropping as well, but it was staying consistent with the revenue. So I don't know exactly what was going on with the management team or why the revenue was going down, if it was due to dietary culture with the sugar and the ketchup and stuff like that. But long term wise, I think ketchup is like an American staple. We use it on almost all our like sports venues for food and stuff. So I mean I was in IKEA and my father-in-law was eating IKEA hot dogs, which are veggie, with ketchup. So that's when I was like, yeah, why not take a stab at it? And you get 5% dividends, which is, this is something I have in my IRA, guys. That's another reason. It's in my IRA, which is long-term portfolio. It's going to sit there and make me 5% dividends as I hopefully pick up more shares on the low. So I'll activate DRIP. I'll get as many dividend payouts on these lows as I can, and I'm hoping for us to get back into the all-time high and above as the world recoups and there's no more tariff and issues with like country to country, because I'm assuming that we are exporting this out, and that might be another issue since we are making it here in Pittsburgh. So that's what I have for you guys today. I hope that was helpful. Talk to you guys soon. And if you're interested in stocks, give me some tickers and I'll show you. You already saw some of the tickers I was looking at. I all three of these I'm trading, and right now I'm only in Heinz. I already got out of this. I'm still in this one, and I'm trying to get out above $3. But AMC has a lot of good movies coming out. They have a lot of cool things they're doing. Management is fixing the bleeding blood of profitability. I do think this is going to do a nice turnaround, and you can see how high this was and how low it is now. So the risk to reward is there because I think it's down like 80%. Well, for year to date, it's down 40%, but from when I was looking at it, it's down 80%. And the all-time high was around $300 here in April of 2021. I think this was a pump on some crypto nonsense, by the way. $11. And right now it's at $2.74. So if that means anything, I mean, It's like owning a piece of the superheroes or the movie. Entertainment, I think, will survive no matter how bad the economy gets. People want to escape reality, and that's why I supported the movies. So I go almost every new movie comes out. I take my wife and my family. So I think that it's worth the investment long term. Movie tickets $10 or $15 depending on what time or what theater you go to, and the stock is 275. So I mean, I could get like 10, 20 shares per movie ticket per person. So that's how I see it. Thank you guys. I hope you have a great day. Good luck.